is around you. You live your life not being controlled by the circumstances. Ain't that beautiful? Glorious. Now, tension gripped Leaky Slum in Nanyuki for the better part of Monday after police officers blocked protesters from entering Nanyuki town. The demonstrators are demanding justice for Julia Njoki, who was arrested during Sabasaba protests and allegedly tortured by police officers while in custody. Protesters blocked the main road leading to the town, lighting bonfires and erecting barricades, demanding the arrest of police officers who allegedly hit Njoki. The 24-year-old was allegedly tortured while in police custody after failing to pay a 50,000 shilling bond.
No, I need explanation right now. Nataka niambiwe Julia aliuliwa na nani? And what did she do? I know it's hard for me. Huyu ni mtoto wangu wa kwanza. Yeah, begu ya Kariuki ya kwanza ndio hii. Wameua. Walikuwa polisi 13. They were guiding us all through. And when we go to see Julie, they were following us. So it is just intimidation of the family so that we don't talk. Even right now, they are threatening. Wananipigia tandio hawa, wananipigia simu hapa so that I don't talk. I'll talk on the top of my mouth because of Julie. I will. And I need to be killed now by these police behind me here. Yeah. The only person who came in the police station is Bwana DCC na mapolisi wale wakubwa kwa na mawe makubwa wakaniambia I play cool so that we don't take this thing up. What about tomorrow? What about the children tomorrow? Julia amekufa na wengine atafanya nini?
Tunataka haki kwa sababu haki tusipotokea sisi wote kutafuta haki tutauawa sisi wote, na hata leo ni kama wamejipanga, wameamua hatutaandamana, wameamua hakuna haki tutatafuta, ni kama wako tayari kutua sisi wote. Ile haki tunatafuta ni hizi familia ziweviwe bill zao. Hizi familia hakuna hata governor, hakuna hata MC, hakuna hata hao political leaders, political class wamejitokeza at least kumona familia, na tunataka mwenye kuua Julie akiwa kwa cell, mwenye alimchapa achukuliwe hatua. Hakuna, no one is above the law. Hakuna mtu mwenye anafaa kukiuka sheria, na moyo wa mwanadamu lazima they are there to protect us, not to beat us. Hawafai kuonyesha life bullet kwa mwananchi.
Hiyo ni maandamano ya watoto wetu walikie. Na ule kijana wa form 3, hata mtoto wa form 3 bado amekufa. Form 3.
Kariuki ni chief hapa anamulia mtoto. Even what he is doing as a chief, he should quit from that stupid chief. For that 1,000. Okay.
I also join them and demand justice for Njoki. Why in the world would you kill somebody while in police custody? It's just whether in police custody or not. You know, when you're in the hands of the police, the thing that you expect is that you are safe. But now it's turning out that that's the worst place for you to be. Now, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has hit back at former Prime Minister Raila Odinga over calls for a national intergenerational conclave, terming it a plot to distract and derail the one-time movement. Gachagua, who is in the US for a 2-month-long tour, also fired back at President William Ruto, dismissing claims that the opposition was planning to overthrow the government. Gachagua also decried that what he termed as gross violation of human rights under the Kenya Kwanza regime.
But the worst of all is a gross violation of human rights. That is where nobody can believe it. Now, this is a man who said he's a Christian. He was in church every Sunday. Except today he did not go. I'm told he is having migraine, headache, because of the way people are crying. That president can say, go and shoot people in the leg. You know, it's a hate of recklessness. 3 weeks before, the minister called Mukomen said, shoot to kill. And then a guy called Nelson Koech, he's a chairman of the Committee of Parliament for Defense and Foreign Relations that take care of the defense, National Intelligence Service and the Foreign Service. Says, no, President, you are wrong. How can you tell them to shoot in the leg? They should shoot too. That is the situation we are having in the country. Young people, the Gen Zs, have been abducted and killed. A special squad of 101 run by the National Intelligence Service is the one that is responsible for those killings. Now Odinga saying, oh, we should have dialogue, we should have a national conclave, we discuss. What has happened is that old man has been sent by Ruto to create a diversion to slow down the one-term momentum. Raila Odinga has been in every dialogue since 1997. He lost to Moi in 1997, he created problems, he was caught. His people are killed, he forgot about them, he joined government. In 2007, he lost to Mwai Kibaki, he created problems, he was caught. He joined government, he forgot about his people. In 2017, he caused problems, Uhuru called him. The other day, Ruto called him. He means nothing for the people of Kenya. He's just thinking about his own stomach.
Even when he's in the States, he's still causing the political elites in this country a lot of problems. Meanwhile, the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers has criticized Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja over what described as the deteriorating state of healthcare in the county. The union is accusing the governor of making false promises, particularly concerning the implementation of career guidelines, staff promotions, and resignation. The union is questioning the governor's continued silence more than 83 days after 500 clinical officers began their strike.
Around Nairobi have not been working, and even those that have been working have not been working optimally. But what is more concerning is the carefree nature with which the county government of Nairobi has been handling these issues.
Wale ambao tumekuwa tukiongea nao kuanzia kwa yule county secretary na wale wote wa department, waziri na wasaidizi wake ambaye ni chief officers, hatuja kuwa na makubaliano. Imefika wakati lazima tumuite gavana mwenyewe kwa sababu hao ndio wamewapatia majukumu haya.
Members have stagnated at the same job group for the longest, and now we have a new policy document that dictates our employment from internship to retirement that the county government promises to implement but does nothing in regards to its implementation.
For almost 3 months now, we have not seen the governor try to address these issues. And the officer under him, they keep frustrating the process, which then makes us wonder if they are working under the instructions of His Excellency the Governor.
Tumeandaa maandamano ambayo tutakuja ili kuendelea kufanya ile public petition. Na pia mjue si governor peke yake kwa majukumu haya. Nairobi ina viongozi wengi. Tunataka kuwaona pia hata senator wa Nairobi akizungumzia masuala haya kwa sababu pia yeye ako hapa kuhakikisha kwamba.
Now, let me say I voted for Sakaja and in the last election, and I voted for him because there are quite a number of things he had said that he was going to do. There was going to be boroughs in the city. It was going to be divided into boroughs, and every borough was supposed to have somebody who was going to watch over it and report to him. So it was going to be governed differently, more or less the way London is governed. And well, I'm still waiting. I think we are now done 3 years. And I don't think in the next 2 years he'll be able to do that. So tunakungoja. We is waiting. A 17-year-old girl was found murdered in a rental house in a tragic incident in Lurambi, Kakamega County. The suspected killer, believed to be her boyfriend, fled the scene and is reported to have crossed into Uganda. Both the deceased and the suspect are believed to be Ugandan nationals. According to the locals, the couple had rented the house just a day before the incident. The girl's mother, who was aware of the daughter's relationship, became concerned after learning that the man was reported to have committed suicide in Uganda. Police have launched investigations into the incident as efforts to trace the suspect continue.
Jana kitu kama saa 2 usiku, kuna kijana mwenye ambaye alikuja kuulizia nyumba, kijana mfupi hivi. Na vile alikuja kuulizia nyumba, mimi nikamwambia room iko. Akaenda, vile alirudi na pesa 2500 akanipatia, mimi nikakuja nikamfungulia nyumba na sikuona huyo msichana. Mimi mtu mwenye nilimpangishia nyumba alikuwa kijana na suruali ya short. Sasa hizi mchana hivi ndio nikaona vijana kama 5 wamekuja hapa, wakasema wametumwa kutoka huko Uganda. Kijana mwenye nilimpangishia nyumba ameenda paka Uganda na amejua huko. Sasa mamake msichana ndio mwenye amefanya nini? Ameambia hao vijana wakuja waangalie msichana wake yuko safe.
Msichana sisi kwanza hatu kuona huyu msichana, tumemuona sasa hivi.
Tumerendisha
kijana ndio alikuja nyumba. Hakukuja na mwanamke.
Mara ya kwanza na ya mwisho, wale ambao wako na nyumba huwa tunawatangazia kwa baraza, kwa ofisi ya kwamba ukiwa na nyumba za kupangisha lazima uchukue orodha mtu ambaye anataka kuishi hapo. Wale ambao tunaishi nao si watu wazuri. Ujue kwamba huyu mtu ni nani, anaitwa nani.
That's a very sad situation. Now, the family of missing Assistant County Commissioner Hussein Abdirahman Mohammed has moved to court to compel the state to produce the county official, dead or alive. Hussein, who is also a manager at Huduma Center in Wajir, went missing on Tuesday, July 8th, with his family now filing a missing person petition seeking to compel the Inspector General Police Douglas Kanja to produce the missing county official. In court documents obtained by EBN TV, Hussein's family filed a habeas corpus application and a certificate of urgency demanding that the state produce Hussein or give a credible account about his whereabouts by the 14th of July. The county government official was last seen attending an official function only to go missing hours later. They inevitably sparked concern, particularly since there was no news of his state days after he went missing.
No Kenyan should disappear without any trace. No family should be left in agony without answers. And no silence should be accepted when the right to life and liberty is at stake. We will not rest until we know what happened to our brother Hussein Mohammed, and we will pursue justice through all legal and peaceful means available.
It has now been several days since he went missing, and despite growing public concern, there has been no sufficient communication from relevant authorities regarding his whereabouts or the process of any investigations. We are deeply concerned. We need where he is. We demand his whereabouts.
Hussein is not an ordinary citizen like us. He's a deputy county commissioner, who is also assigned to the duty of the manager of Huduma in Wajir. It's so sad to hear somebody of that stature who has disappeared, and as the state is silent and not saying anything about him. We feel ourselves are not secure.
We seek the government through the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, the National Police Service, the head who is the IG, and the DPP to be compelled to produce this gentleman before the Honorable Court, whether he is dead or alive.
This matter has raised a lot of security concerns in the whole of Wajir County. If security in Wajir, which borders the porous border of Somalia, is compromised, which public servant will ever go there? If
senior public servants in the security sector are not safe, then which Kenyan is safe? We have filed a very urgent matter, and we believe the judge will see the urgency of this matter and grant us and habeas corpus, so that by tomorrow we appear before the judge with the DCI to produce Hussein alive or dead.
All right, let's take a look at the newspapers, what the headlines scream out. The Daily Nation has reckless talk. Reckless talk. And if you and I know that words are powerful, the scripture says life and death is in the power of the tongue. Now the power of the tongue is words, not food. The power of the tongue is words. When you speak words, words are things, and they cause a lot of things happen. In fact, here you got pictures of people whose mouth need a sanitizer, because some of the things that they say, oh la la, yeah. And it says loose cannons. With just over 2 years to the next general election, some politicians associated with the Kenya Kwanza administration have started sowing seeds of discord with utterances about rigging the 2027 presidential contest. The new IBC team has denounced their claims, while opposition leaders want action taken on the offenders. This is where the NCIC is supposed to come in, but you have Baringo North MP Joseph Makilap. He says Dr. Ruto must stay. Let it not be that when a leader comes from our region, we say he must go, but when from another region, no one pushes such an agenda. Kapseret MP Oscar Sudi, those online critics shouting Ruto must go, whether they jump, go down, or move sideways, excuse me, Ruto is not going anywhere. Even if his votes won't be enough, we will add them. Then you have Wajir woman representative Fatuma Jihao, and she said, when it comes to the president, we say 2 terms. We are just waiting for the ballot. Even if we don't have enough votes, we will steal for him. That's no secret. Then Tiati MP, William Kamket, if they joke around, you know I come from the county of 24 years. Baringo County knows how to manufacture a president to survive for 24 years. If they joke, we will even extend past the 2 terms. In the current Kenya, Lagat resumes office as bid to stop return flops. And then we got shillings 9 billion scandal. Plumbers, salon workers pose as health workers. What? Approximately 3,000 ghost workers have been collecting monthly salaries of 50,000 shillings each. Where do guys get the guts to do this? Eh? Hey. Some of them are plumbers. Aki Kenya sihami. When Faith Rao holds a loved one's burial, such is the reality facing a family in Kilifi, where the burial of their son, 27 years old, has reignited a storm. Nunua gazeti usome hiyo story. Politicians on the spot of a reckless poll rigging talk. Matiang'i warns poll agency against monkey business. Ruto allies hit back over enemy of Mount Kenya claims. Kenya National Bureau of Statistics taken to task over skewed hiring. Then the back page of the Nation, you got Kenya's long journey towards getting CAF's green light for co-hosting CHAN tournament. Tumemaliza stadium moja, I think, was it Kasarani that was handed over? Yeah, I think Kasarani was handed over. I think it's okay now. Then the Standard newspaper, you got muzzled by states. And it says a public servant in Nanyuki is living proof of the damage police brutality inflicts on society. Chief Martin Kariuki Rienge, father to Julia Wangoi, the latest victim of deadly police violence while in custody, is now a broken man. Gagged from speaking to the media, he is trapped in a cruel dilemma. Standing with a grieving public demanding justice, or serving a government whose own officers caused his daughter's death. This is the story of Njoki that we've just spoken about. The father is a chief. Surely. These police officers killed the daughter of a chief. Hey. The mother to the chiefs, this is what she says. He cannot serve a government that killed his daughter. I told the deputy county commissioner to fire him if he's too afraid to act. 30,000 shillings salary a month is not worth my grandchild's blood. I have told him you can't wear a badge with pride when that badge is silent about your child's death. Oh man, this is such a sad story. This is such a sad story. Ay, 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 ay. I feel for this he's not young. I feel for this chief. I mean, you've lost your daughter, killed by police officers serving the same government you're serving, and because you're a chief, you're gagged, you cannot talk about the death, to a point where your own mother is telling your boss to fire you, saying the 30,000 shilling salary they pay you is not sufficient to cause you to not speak about justice for your daughter. You know, there's something interesting. When you look up, you see the ceiling, but there's a God above. There's a God beyond what we see with our eyes. Yeah? Kenya takes part in trials of fast malaria treatment for newborns. And then High Court blocks Safaricom's Bonga Points expiry plan. Oh, they want you to earn points and then you have to utilize them by a certain time. So the court has said, out Naija, you're not going to have that happening. If I earn Bonga Points, they are mine. They don't expire. Then new bill seeks to weed out rogues in growing digital currency sector. And the guy who's pushing this is Kimani Kuria. Kimani Kuria, you know, he's a very popular guy, don't you? The finance bill, eh? Protesters demand justice for woman who died in police custody. Court clears way for DIG Lagat's return to office as case proceeds. Clinical officers demand action, strike escalates. Kionjori Gachagua in war of words over Mount Kenya's soul. There was a time people used to say that Kionjori will be or was likely the guy who would take over from President Uhuru Kenyatta as the Mount Kenya kingpin. But let's just say The rest is history. Family of missing Wajir official files petition against the Inspector General. Then we go to back page. Aldrin Kibet, from dusty roads of Poror to alluring streets of La Liga. Hey, Kibet. Hey, Kibet has moved from running to playing football. Hey, Shele in action against Morocco. Where? The Star newspaper, it calls itself fresh, independent, and different. Is it different? Let's see. Political maneuvering, struggling economy complicates situation for president as president's tough job of quelling Gen Z crisis. As in, I don't think there's a president who's found himself in a situation like this. When he got into power, he enjoyed a lot of favor. He had the church on board, and he had basically, assume Mount Kenya on board. Gen Z's, part of them voted for him, part of them did not care. Now, he's struggling because Mount Kenya out Niger, Gen Z, a lot of them out Niger. The church is no longer enthusiastic about him. And I'm talking about the evangelical churches. They're no longer enthusiastic about him as they were before the election. I mean, before the election, they'll probably have bound you if you resisted or you are against the president. But right now, most of them have vacated that position. And so he is, I don't know how he's going to navigate the storm he's currently facing. And you would understand the reason why some of his lieutenants are saying that if he does not win the votes legally, they will nicken na wamuongeze ndi apite, because there is a high likelihood that he's going to suffer a lot in this. There's a high likelihood. I don't know how he's going to win this. He won with 200,000 and he has lost almost 4 million. That math, I don't know how they're going to math that math to math. Muranga man's innovation ends villagers network wars. Esh! Now these are the stories. Now this guy, if we had a ministry that can be able to, invest in people, so that a guy like this, he's come up with a device that in the village, when he sets it on, your network, iko fit kabisa, you're no longer suffering network problem. They just need to help him and see what, and he's done it using very rudimentary equipment. Your kawaida, ghetto blaster. That's the kind of material he's using. So I know Alice has a ghetto blaster in the house. I saw it when the husband was posting online with some dances, and so we saw the ghetto blaster. Alice, you can now increase, if you learn from this, you guys can increase the network in your home. Mwache kushika network ya Uganda, mshike ya Kenya. If you're wondering who Alice is the director on the other side. She's the one who makes noise in my ears telling me time yangu imeisha. Now there's Meet Kibulanga, Swahili ambassador to the world. Eish. He has made several documentaries and delivered lectures in universities. Omar Kibulanga of TED series premiere. Oh, okay. Who is this? Okay. I'm waiting to see how the 2026 how the campaigns are going to look like in 2026, 2027. These are going to be something else. And then the Star says how Raila's silent game plan could change 2027 matrix. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta and Jubilee Party are reportedly behind the push. What push? Hey, I ask here. It's a push to have Raila vie. A silent push for Raila Odinga's 2027 presidential run against President William Ruto is likely to trigger political tremors and realignments. If Raila runs in 2027, or you can stamp that right now, it will be a one-term presidency for William Ruto, because he is depending on the Rift Valley and Rift Valley Western and Luo Nyanza. If Luo Nyanza goes, iko shida, because Western is very unique. If you go to a place like Busia, majority of Busia is both Luo and Luya. So they actually share names, they can speak both dialects. So Busia would be gone. That's a serious matrix. That's a serious headache for him. That's a serious headache for Raila Odinga. No, for President William Ruto. And then wanasema that most packaged foods contain too much salt and sugar, sugar and fat. Huh? Do you know even some of the drinks that call themselves diet what? They have a lot of sugar. You're thinking that you're taking a sugarless drink, but in actual sense, you're taking a lot of sugar. A lot of sugar. It's only that they've not named it sugar. So they deceive you that it's Diet Coke. You gotta realize that the biggest liars in this world are the pharmaceuticals and the food industry. All right? The pharmaceutical and the food industry. Did you know that, you see, when you get into hospital, there's that liquid that they feed you. They call it intravenously. Did you know that that is literally salt? It's sodium. It is salt. Yet, so they've packaged salt in a way that they can put it inside you. Even if today you go to a hospital with high blood pressure and probably the pressure has become too high, they will put that in you. Yet somehow they tell you, do not take salt. If you don't have sodium in your body or salt in your body, your cells are unable to draw in water into your cells. Biology. So when you're told don't take it, there are different kinds of salt you can take. I think there's the pink salt, which is very good. It has a lot of electrolytes. Nimekuwa daktari, food expert. Electrolytes. And then there's also, I'll remember, there's a salt from the larger UK area. I'll tell you which salt that is. And these are healthy salts. But salt in itself is not bad. Even Jesus said, salt is good. But when it loses its effect, it's only good to be tramped over. So the biggest liars in this world are actually the pharmaceuticals and the food industry. They will lie to you with their eyes open. I am one person who believes that right now there's a cancer cure, but the pharmaceutical cartels in this world will not allow it to come to the market. Reason? They will lose a lot of money. by not treating cancer, because cancer treatment is very expensive. I have a friend who went to India, and just to show you how the medical world, even in Kenya, is so corrupt. For you to get most of the major hospital, when you're diagnosed with a disease that needs you to be taken to India, they are the ones who they insist that they recommend a doctor in India or a hospital in India for you. And that letter has to be written by the hospital. So what happens is these doctors have entered into deals with hospitals and doctors in India, so that any patient they get there is a percentage they get as commission. And so there was a period where so many people were flooding India, not because they couldn't be treated here, but because the allowances that are coming and the kickbacks that the doctors get from India were so humongous. And that's how the Indian tourism, medical tourism industry grew. So many people getting paid kickbacks and money to recommend patients there. So, and it's still going on. The guy told me how a doctor in Kenya had refused to write that letter recommending him to a hospital there, because he was not going to the hospital of the doctor's choice. It had to take a relative who is a senior boss to this doctor to tell him to write it so that he can go to a government hospital in India. So the pharma and the food industry, most corrupt. Why in the world do you think Bill Gates is now one of the biggest landowners in the world? Because he's planting food. And that area, he's going to dominate. He's got the money, he's got the ability to research. Did you know that the seed is being taken away from you? You've eaten oranges that don't have seed. Very convenient, true, and sweet. But do you know, by taking away the seed, they've taken away your ability to plant that crop again. You will keep on going back to them to get the orange. Same thing with watermelon. You go to the States, there are people who don't know that watermelon ever had seeds. So we have to insist on our sides, we're keeping the seeds. Even the maize seed right now. You plant whatever you plant, you get a harvest. But if you replant the seed, you will not get a good harvest, and it goes on deteriorating. Yet our forefathers and our fathers used to plant, and then they put aside a seed from what they've gotten, plant it, and they get good yields. That is a thing of the past. So the food and the pharma industry, biggest cartels in the world. So be careful what you eat. Sindio? I'm going to be taking tea shortly. That's just one of the ways of being careful of what I eat. So do have yourself a lovely morning. Remember that at 9 a.m. we're going to have Your Faith today with Reverend Felix Kevoy. And then later on at 2 p.m., Manukato with the DJ Teddy. Yes, these days he's DJing and he's presenting. Sawa. Have yourself a lovely morning.